So our agenda for today, okay, we've already done the introduction and welcoming part, and like, is it Lana? The way Lana said, let us drop our LinkedIn profile links so that we can connect with each other beyond today's session. And I'd love to welcome speaker number one, who is Daisy. Oh, sorry. Oh, I was reading the agenda. So introduction and welcome part we already done it. And then speaker one will be Daisy Auma. A session will be 40 minutes. Speaker two, we have Olivia Jones. And then lastly, towards the end, we'll have a thank you and passing shot 10 minutes. So I'd like to welcome Daisy Auma. Feel free to join us. Let us know when you're ready to jump in.
Before you go, tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Oh my goodness. I was dreading that part. It had me thinking. Yeah. So a fun fact about myself. I am a major motorsports enthusiast, and I do attend a lot of drifting events. But guys, I don't even know how to drive. But then, one day we'll get there. So I find that very funny and also upsetting from time to time, but I'll work on it. Yeah, so let me put that as one of my resolutions. Yeah, for the rest of this year. I'll work on it. Then I'll give you feedback next week. Not next week, next year. Maybe when we have such series. And I hope to see you guys over here as you get my feedback. Thank you. So Daisy, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Hi, Faith.
All right, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Daisy, and actually, when Maureen said Faith, I thought it was me. I was like, no one ever calls me with my middle name. I was like, that's odd. Then I realized there's another Faith in the call, which was cool. Yeah. So my name is Daisy Faith Auma. I am a developer relations engineer, and I co-founded a school called Lux Tech Academy. Sorry, I was buffering a bit because sometimes I realized my introduction can be a bit long. But yes, so I'm a developer relations engineer. I also co-founded a school called Lux Tech Academy that deals with data science, machine learning, AI. We have really cool courses. So if you want to see me on the site for that, and please do. My LinkedIn DMs is open, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It's okay. Just message me. I can tell you more about that. And that's why this what Maureen is doing with the Tambua women really made me want to be part of it, because it's in something that I'm really passionate about. And yeah, AI and teaching people about AI is something I'm doing, and I really love to be part of it. So thank you so much, Mo, for this opportunity, and hopefully I'll be able to join this series more than just today. As Faith said, I'm also a motorsport. How would I put it? I watch a lot of motorsport, but I'm also a very terrible driver. I can drive for sure, but let's not put me on that wheel. Yeah, but if we do, we'll get to the point eventually where we want to get, hopefully. But yeah, I do tend to not want to drive around. Yeah, but I do enjoy motorsport. Actually, I was just watching F1, and Mercedes is doing well. Hopefully, they continue like that tomorrow. Hiya. So I'm gonna go right into it.
Tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Okay, I thought the fun fact was me liking motorsports and being a terrible driver, but I can drive. Yes, I'm just terrible at it. You see, fun fact. Sorry, can everyone speak?
Fun fact.
Fun. Yo, fun fact. I don't know. Fun fact. This is such a hard question. It sounds easy, but it's not. Mm,
Do you
okay,
love
yeah.
cooking chapatis?
What? Sorry.
Do you love cooking chapatis? That is also a fun fact
Oh God,
about you.
I don't know how to cook chapatis. I don't know how to cook chapati. Hey, fun fact is that I'm in a choir, and it's not a gospel choir, and I really love it. And I can also play the bass guitar. Yeah, I think that's fun. Not I'm a piano. No, it's called it's just regular music choir. Like just think of music that is not gospel but more pop music. Yes, pop music is the word.
A rhyme, a line for us.
Lana, no, I don't know. I cannot not today. But I can send you clips of me singing in the choir. You know, singing in a choir is different from singing alone. So
Attach the link on the chat. We'd love to hear.
where? Okay, I will. I'll find my Instagram. I'll find the. Thank you so much, Lana. But you put me on the spotlight. Eh, yo, yeah.
Sorry.
You make me forget what I was supposed to speak about, but I won't. I will not forget. Sorry. Just that was on a light note. Okay, thank you so much, Lorna, for that. Yeah, we all needed that. I was a bit yes. So we are going to talk about AI using real world AI APIs and AI and putting them together, because so many of us just use AI like Claude to ask it for your skincare routine, or if you're in tech, maybe to ask it to fix a line of code. But you never really, most of our projects have never left um I've never left the Claude or Claude whatever, or your GitHub or something. I just wanted to think about it, to do something that is real life. And the example I came with was something related to something I do. I am also a technical writer, and as a technical writer, sometimes we write about news, like things that are happening, especially in tech. And I know we've all heard of Hacker News. I know I'll share my screen at some point. Do I have slides? I do have slides, but they're not the best. We've all heard of Hacker News or some version of it. And Hacker News has, actually, let me just, let me Google. I'll share my screen a bit. Hacker News. So we've all heard of Hacker News, and if you haven't, maybe today's your first day. It's one of the leading news for tech, and I think also Y Combinator is part of it. And I know someone who uses Hacker News to go and apply for jobs from these companies that are talked about here, and even they have a jobs part of it, you see. Yeah, actually I've just seen a job that I'm going to apply for. Anyways, so the reason why I thought of Hacker News is because it's a news platform that is related to us as techies, and we really need to be on top of the news every day. And I think up to today, some people don't know that Claude Fable is out yet again. So things like that, just to be on top of the news. And the good thing about Hacker News is that they have an API, Hacker News API. So Hacker News have an API that, sorry, I forgot to say. Maureen, is this recorded? could it be recorded, please? If it's
Yes,
yeah, it is.
the recording is on.
Thank you. So there is Hack and Use. It has an API, and that is what we are going to try and use today. But what I'm going to talk about doesn't really have to use. You don't have to use this API. I think I also tried it with the weather API. If you want to try and use it for API. I mean, use it for weather, checking the weather and all that. But I wanted it to be something relevant to most of us and something a bit more exciting that we can try and manipulate in different ways. Yeah. So we're going to jump right into the demo tutorial type of thing. Yes, instead of me sharing what a presentation like slides, because you can easily generate that. So let me just share something else. Okay. Trying to see something has happened. I've lost my screen. Share my screen. Good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are building a web app. There's two ways to do it. We'll do it with Python and another way with HTML. We are building a web app that reads the live top stories on Hacker News and then uses the AI to turn them into a briefing, a useful briefing, and then if you can share it like to your Slack, let's say, for example, right now, Mo has a very good tech community. She can go grab the news from Hacker News and then share it on the WhatsApp community or the Slack channel or the Discord or things like that. Yeah. So that's what we're building. We will start with the less pretty one, which is via Python, and it's via Python. And we are going to, our AI of choice today is going to be Gemini because it's free. Yes, we're going to use Gemini because it is free. So if you are following me, if you want to try this as I do it, that would be great. And you let me know your experience. If you have an issue as we do, if you have an error, if you want us to help troubleshoot, just let me know. Okay, let's present something else. So the first thing to do is to go to Google AI Studio. This is where we're going to get our API key. I hope you can see AI Studio on my screen. Yeah, so I've already created one, but you can create another one. I'm just going to show you how to create one quickly. You say create API key, then you name it whatever you want, and then you create a new project, and then once you say create project, you click, you'll get your API key. Let's just wait for it to load. Yeah, then create key. So I did this earlier on so that it's kind of sometimes it's a bit slow, and I don't want us to be stuck waiting for things to load. Okay, so yeah, anyways, you'll find your key and your details here, and you'll copy the key, but we're not going to use this. We use the one that I did earlier just so that I don't confuse myself. So yeah, so the first thing you'll do, you get your key, paste it. Okay, Maureen. Yes.
Yeah, you have one question, actually two questions. Pauline says, would be nice if you explain what an API key is.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay, API key. Before we going to go to what an API key is, we have to say what an API is, right? Something happened. I'm so
Hello.
sorry for that.
Oh,
Sorry for that. I do not know what happened. I'm back. Okay. The first question was API key. But I was saying before we say what an API key is, we need to know what an API is. So an API is in full is application program interface. This is like rules or protocols that are set up to allow software A speak to software B. So if you are to come from Westlands and go to town, and the means you will use to get from Westlands to town, whether it's Uber, whether it's Matatu, now that is an API. Or if you are to send a parcel to your mom, if you decide to use Easy Coach or Guardian, now those are an APIs. Now think about it in the software way. If you want, the best example is M-Pesa. If you go to websites sometimes and it says pay with M-Pesa, and then you click on it, and then after a while the SDK push pops on your screen and you put your PIN. The way that website connected to M-Pesa and to your phone and for you to put a PIN, that is what we call an API. I hope that's a good explanation. Yeah? Could you like share an emoji or something? So I feel like I'm on the right path. Yes. So an API key is like a password or some form of number that is used to do the communication. So if the communication is just left open, anyone can come into the communication and do whatever they want and mess up the communication between part one and part B. So that's why even for you, if you pay from a website with your M-Pesa, you have to put your PIN. But that's not the only password that is put. On the back end, there's like an API key between the website and the M-Pesa that they communicate before it gets to you. So think of an API key as a password for you to do this communication. I hope that explains it. And API keys they're very different types of API keys, and mostly you will find them in things involving finances, at least to my experience. But also in data, you'll find API keys, and some are public, some are free, some are paid for, depending on what you want. I think the most famous API keys in Kenya is Daraja by M-Pesa. And in the AI space, there's Google Cloud or Google AI, OpenAI, Claude also. If you are to get into the AI space, maybe those are the ones you'll be interacting with a lot more. Yeah. So the other question was what I've lost my questions because I left the meeting.
It reads, is Google AI Studio an app? And another one is also asking, where did you get Google AI Studio? Can you start from where we get it?
Okay. So, Waleni, I went a bit fast. I just realized I went through some things really fast. So Google AI Studio, as the name says, is part of Google's tech, for lack of a better word, or where they have like their AI stuff, right? So how do you get there? how do I get there? You Google it. You Google the word Google AI Studio, and then you will get, you click on it. And this is how it looks. I just realized I opened the page with the APIs directly without all this. So Google AI Studio, this is a whole other class.
Did we lose her again?
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, it's probably internet connection on her end. But in the meantime, is there anyone else who knows what a Google AI Studio is, or who doesn't know what a Google AI Studio is? I think I can share something in the meantime.
Yes, please share with us because now we were waiting for Faith.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting that some of the things that people take for granted, other people don't have an idea about them completely. So yeah, like I said, I'm not feeling too good, so I'm not gonna speak too much. So if you have an idea, feel free to jump in. But this is basically what Google I/O Studio is. Oh, she's back. Thank you. Yeah, so
I'm so sorry.
But Maureen, you're audible enough. Stop worrying about not feeling well. We can hear you very well.
yeah, so I was Daisy, I just jumped in to show them what Google AI Studio looks like. So it's pretty much a playground to enable you to use some of these Google models. You've heard of Gemini and all that, anti-gravity. So it's pretty much of a studio that you can use to create apps using Google products or tools. And yeah, take it over, Daisy.
Thank you so much, Mo. My village people need to calm down. They need to calm down because why is the problem? Thank you so much, Mo, for taking over that and helping me explain what Google AI Studio is. So where was I? Yeah. As I said, we are going to go to what we're dealing with today is the API side of it. Yeah, I would say if you do have a chance to go and play with their models, it's pretty fun. Google is pretty generous compared to other AI AI companies in terms of free tiers. So you can go and try Vio, Nano Banana, Anti-Gravity, and all this stuff. Yes, so we are going back to APIs. APIs. So if you click API keys, you get to the screen. And I showed you how you can create one. Is there any other question that I haven't answered? before I go on. Okay, we're good now. So yes, we're good now. So we are going to go back to what we were doing. Well, our goal today is to take information from Hacker News, which is a website that has news, mostly tech news. And then from that news, we find the top 10, top 8, whatever number we decide on, and then use an AI to categorize where they what category they belong to, or whatever prompt we can decide to change the prompt, by the way, but I try to make it a bit simple to just collect them, to categorize them, and then send it to another platform like Slack or Discord. Okay, that's our goal today. And as I said earlier, there's 2 ways to do it. One's the prettier option. One is a bit more, it is Python based, and then the other one is HTML, which is the prettier option, as I said. So okay, now I'm buffering because of all the technical issues I've found. Anyways, let's go back to screen. Let's present something else. So I did run everything before, but I'm gonna just clear this terminal and we start again. I am using VS Code as my choice of IDE, and I think you can use any other, but I feel like VS Code just does it for me. So there are things we'll need for the Python version. We'll need to have Python 3.9 or above. So the first thing is to check for the Python version. So to check for the Python version, we do mine is 3.912. I think that's right. And we will need another thing apart from the API key. We'll need to make sure we have requests library. So I hope you're familiar with this. This is a fast one, so I'll go through it really fast so that we look at the other one, the HTML one, that is a bit more easy to understand. Not easy to understand, it's much more prettier. So I did pip install. I do have them installed. You'll see it says which ones are satisfied and which ones I can upgrade to, but I'm not going to upgrade to that. And of course, we already have our key. Remember, we copied your key.
I have a question.
Yes. Thank you for just. Yes.
If I'm using a MacBook, how will I do that?
I am using a MacBook. You open VS Code. What part do you want to do? I opened VS Code. You can see my screen. I'm searching VS Code, and then Visual Studio Code. It comes. If you don't have it, you have to install it. Yeah, and then once you have it, for you to open this, I'm thinking maybe you're asking about this part, the terminal part.
Yes, that's the terminal part I'm asking about.
So if you hover up here at the top, you can see it brings this part: code, file, edit, selection, view. So there's this part called written terminal. If you click on it, it asks you if you want a new terminal or a split terminal. So if you click new terminal, it will bring a new terminal down here. Depending on how you've set it, sometimes it can be on the side but mostly it's always on the bottom. So I'm going back to my original terminal. This one.
Okay, thank you.
Great. If you have a question, just say it, because my face might not be on the Google Meet part, so I might miss it on the messages. Yeah, or Lorna or Mo, you can just read it out for me loudly. Yes, so we have installed our library, we have checked our Python version, we also have our API key ready. So one thing that is a good practice is you should never paste your code, your API key into the code. You put it in an environment variable. How to explain that? It's just somewhere where it's much more safer to have. But for today's purposes, you're going to see my code, my API key, because I'll delete it right after this. And also it's a free tier. It won't really get you much if you decide to be creative with it. So for that, we're going to run. We're going to run this code for export Gemini API key. This code is also available on Gemini API Studio. If you click there, when you are creating the key, there's a place where it says quick start. It will show you how to export your API key. So that's mine. If I click export, it just shows it has exported my API key. These examples are this code. This syntax is for Linux or Mac, but if you have Windows, it will be something like set Gemini API key instead of API of export for Linux and Mac. Okay. So now we have our API key. So for everything, make sure this terminal that has your API key exported is always running. You can choose to do the rest of another terminal, but this one has to run for the whole of this tutorial. If you want to make it something more permanent, you have to do the .env, and I feel like that's a whole other topic we might not want to get into right now. So the first file I created was called news.py. It's this one here. I'm going to delete everything on it.
Sorry,
but yes,
I need to take you back just a bit.
No
You
worries.
talked about installing libraries. Could you maybe just clarify what libraries are you installing? What is the purpose of that?
Okay, so the libraries I am installing are requests libraries. This is to help us fetch the stuff from fetch the news from Hacker News, because we're going to use a URL to fetch. So libraries are, for example, libraries in Python are like small things inside Python to help us make, this is a very weird description, to help us do things. So there's very many types of libraries. So the libraries we installed today are called requests, and these ones are mostly for fetching and basically used with APIs. If I find a better description during this conversation, I will send it to you. I will give it to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And I also wanted to know, if you're not using VS Code, can you use any other IDE? Is Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab, is it possible to do this?
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can use it with Colab, because I feel like from my experience, I've used Colab for like data science itself, like to do the histograms and the stuff like that. But I feel like another ideal IDE will be PyCharm. Is it called PyCharm, or the ones from JetBrains in short? Yeah. The ones from PyCharm and JetBrains itself, or I'm not sure how you can change. Maybe there's a way you can use Colab for it. I would be lying if I tell you that I know you can do that. If someone has a better answer, please make it a bit, help me with that answer for now. But I'll research on the side as the times when things will be running. I'll see if it's possible to use Colab. Okay. So going back, like to the file I created before was called news.py. So first thing we said we want to talk to the new Hacker News API. So I'm gonna just paste the some part of the code again and then explain it. So this is the part. So we are importing requests. Requests, as we said, is the library, the Python library, and then you can see the API, the Hacker News API. It's a Firebase API. That's actually Maureen's stuff on Firebase and Flutter and stuff like that. I just see it around. But yes, it's a Firebase API, and we looked at it at the beginning. And then the first thing we are going to do is get the IDs of the top stories. I will go back to the Hacker News website and see this. We are going to have it in JSON and then fetch the first 5 stories and print their titles. That is what we're doing. Whoever asked about the libraries we fetched, or rather we installed. See, like for here we are using the .get. This is the part of the library. There's .get. There's oh god, that's a whole other conversation on JSON. And the types of what requests you can do with JSON. So here we get them, and then we fetch the first 5 stories, and then we are going to run this file and see what we get. So to run something in Python, I do Python news.py. And then when we run it,
Can I ask a question? It's not a question really, but
yes.
There's someone who said is a beginner completely.
Mm-hmm.
So would you make Kidogo the language a bit understandable for him or her, or anyone who's like a beginner?
I am trying. The beginner person, are you here? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I would like to where they are lost so that I can ease the words. But so far, what have I said that's too complicated? Maybe the libraries part. And now I'm actually thinking maybe I should have just used the HTML option example because it's a bit more simpler, but just it says a lot of code, but it's way simpler because it's just a web app. But then now someone will ask, what's a web app?
Not really. Well, I think I'm the one who said I'm a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
My beginner part is in building with AI. I can be able to understand a bit of the code.
Yes.
You may just need to explain every step. This is what I am doing. Like now, if there's an API from the Hacker News?
Yes.
I know you got the Google AI Studio API key, but now I see you also mentioned about the Hacker News API key. So maybe if you could just do the explanation step by step, I should be able to follow the process. Don't worry about word steps and all. I understand that. Yes.
Okay. So for us to get news from Hacker News, we need an API, which they already have. And for us to work with Gemini, we also need an API. Think about it the way if you need to go from Westlands to town, you need money. And on top of having that money, you need a means of transport. We need 2 things. So there's the API from Hacker News and there's the API from Gemini. These 2 APIs need to communicate. So what are we doing with the Hacker News API? We are getting the news from it, right? We just, like you've seen what we've done here, it is getting the IDs of the first top stories and then fetching the stories and printing their titles. That is what we have done. Are we good up to there?
Yes.
Yeah. So just it's like, yeah, I think that's a bit, I can't explain it further than that. I'll confuse you a bit. So I ran, ignore these errors. I was going to the wrong file. So I ran it here, Python news.py, and it checked the first five stories with their titles. So the bottleneck might be the air in the room, astrophysicist, puzzle, over web. Let me increase this screen so that maybe you can see better. Yeah. So here are our 5 stories. Hope you can see them here. If you're running on your side, you probably also get the same thing. And if you check on the Hacker News page, you will also see the first 5 stories are something like this. Yeah. And then the next thing is we want to see if this code, if this API can converse with the other API. We want to see if Hacker News API can converse with. Actually, we want to see, now we have tested that the Hacker News API works, right? We also want to test if the other API works. And for this, I use this Hello API. I'm gonna just remove everything and do it again. So allow me to paste the code first and then see what I did. Okay. So again, we imported requests and the module OS, and then you can see that we are calling the API key, the Gemini API key, and also its URL. If you go to the Gemini API Studio, you will see this URL. And we have a prompt here, if you can see. We are using the request post. We want it to give us an answer. Our prompt says, say hello to a room of developers in one short sentence. So when we try to run this, let's see what it will give us. So we run it again with writing python.hello.api. And you can see it has given us an answer, right? It has said, hello, and may your builds be green. That's such a nice answer. It means green means no errors, right? The first time I ran it, actually, it just told me hello world. So that you can see, because the AI side keeps changing answers. We're getting a different answer here. So we have seen that both APIs are working. I hope you're good up to that. If you have a question, please let me know. So the next thing we are going to do, we want the AI to return a clean JSON. What is JSON? JSON is like a structure of how information is given, and it's mostly used because it gives us a very clean output, something that you can easily read through instead of just mumbled up code. Again, I'm going to do the same thing and clear this that I did before and do it again. So I'm gonna go again through the code. We have the key, we have the URL. Those ones have been called. Our prompt right now is classify this message and return only JSON with keys in the intent, a short label, and urgency, high, medium, or low. And the message, this is we're deflecting a bit from the news thing, but it's so that we can see how we can use structured data. As I said before, you can try this using this example in other free APIs. For example, if you want it in news, in weather, you can classify whether the emergencies is high, medium, or low. If you want to use it in your chatbot, in your AI thing with your, for example, here, if it's a bank account, and when you open, let's say you open your KCB app and it shows you can chat with something. But like, for example, no, Zuri near Safaricom, yes. Open Zuri, it tells you can chat with Zuri and tell Zuri, my account is locked and I can't send money. I've tried 3 times. It's supposed to now classify this message as urgency, whether it's high, medium, or low. And this is the part that the request, and then we get our answer. So I'm gonna just run this again and see what we'll get. Okay. Structured. .5. So if you see again, it says account locked high. Remember we said you want it as intent and urgency. So it showed the intent was the account is locked and the urgency of this is high. So we can see that the AI side of our API is giving us clean, easy to read data. And the AI side, the news side, is giving us the lines of the most, the top news, okay? Now we are going to combine all these things. We fetch the top stories, hand the titles to Gemini, and then ask Gemini to give us a structured brief. Okay, so we go back to who's lost. If I continue. We're good. Okay. We're going back to the news.py, the one that had. Okay. Yes. Yes, I'll share the code with Mo, and I'll also share it on GitHub and also the notes. Was there another question? Yes, Faith.
Hi, Daisy. Just to do a quick check-in. Well, you have like 10 minutes to go. Yeah, before we move to the next speaker.
Okay, sawa.
Is that enough
I'll just do
for you to finish off?
I'll just do this one example.
All
I won't do that HTML one.
All right, sure thing. Thank you.
Yeah, sawa. So
What shall we do an example, alafu? What shall we do an example for about like 3 to 5 minutes? Then we see on our end if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, then I think mwenye haita work, they come back with their mistake, then you can explain from there.
Sorry, there's a part of you or part that I missed. You said? Sorry, what did you say before the example part?
I was saying, labda, English kidogo. Maybe you give us 3 to 5 minutes. We try on our ends, and if anyone gets stuck or it doesn't work, it brings an error on their end. I feel like it should be an opportunity for everyone to come and ask a question if anyone gets stuck.
Yeah, that's okay. So
yeah, give us 3 to 5 minutes. I think that should be enough, unless anyone wants some more time. We try on our end if it will work on our end. If it doesn't work, or whoever it doesn't work, they should come back with a question or show us where they'll be stuck.
Yeah. Okay, let me run the last part of it then and explain the code as it runs. That's for connecting the both APIs, so we are running it. As it runs, I'm going to explain the code. At the beginning, you can see we're calling both APIs, both the Gemini one and the news one. And then here we are top stories, we put it to 8. So as we said earlier, it's going to get the IDs, and then after the IDs, after the IDs, it goes to the stories itself. So our prompt here is, you are a tech news editor briefing to this audience. Here are the current top hacker news stories. And then it should call the listing. After it's called the listing, it should return only JSON with these keys: the theme, the stories, top pick, and share a message at the end. So the theme is one sentence on theme running to today's headlines. Stories, a list of the number of I gave, that's 8 for us, one line under 18 words, and give it a tag. So the tags, we are going to have AI, dev tools, security, business, and other. Then top pick the number of the most relevant stories for this audience, and then share a message. Okay, then this is just the code to this is to calling the numbers and the stories and the audience. And then of course it prints everything. So as I was explaining, the code has run. Let me just share this. Okay, so our code has run, and it's, first of all, it says here, today's headlines feature advancement in data architecture and computing efficiency, alongside reminders and optimizing work environment. So then the stories, the 1, 2, 3 till 8, you can see them here. You can compare with what you can see on Hacker News if it's still the same. And the top pick according to Gemini is story number 4, and then it says the message it has shared is, hello innovators, today's headlines bring some fantastic insights for optimizing your data architecture. Let's dive and see how the stories can fuel your next big ideas. So these are the lists of the stories, and the top pick again is, maybe you should learn something. That was story number 4, and the auto drafted post is down here. So that is what our code is doing. So if you want, you can also connect this now to Slack or whatever. Just copy paste it to Slack or Discord or whatever other social media that your group or your community uses, or even your blog, your Medium, everything. So yeah, that is how you can connect APIs to another. You can connect a Gemini, an AI API to another API in real life, and then use it in very many situations. That's the first option. That's more technical and probably much more, what's the word, used in real life instead of the Python one, the HTML one that is a bit more simpler. It's nicer to show, but it might not be used like in production. Yes, but I hope you are running stuff in the background so that I can just show you the other side of it, like how I did it with HTML. Just gonna run it here. So this is it. So I've just refreshed it. So you come here and paste your Gemini API key. Once I paste it, it will build the brief. This is exactly what we have done, but now with a prettier UI. Like it has a front end to say the list. So it shows us exactly the same thing. Today's highlights, blah blah blah, and then you can see the topic, and it has categorized it here as science. Remember, we gave them categories, and we have the top 8. It's given us the top pick, and you can see, because we've run it 2 different times, the top pick here is different from the top pick there on the Python code. So again, this depends on how fast the Hacker News API is changing, and also how good your prompt is. And then at the bottom here, we have can paste in a community. The example I've seen this being used in is tech community leaders or people in who handle a lot of tech communities and technical writers too. Instead of going and reading all the things that are being written about today, you collect it, you analyze it through the AI, and you have like a quick draft that you just paste. So if someone looks at this, they can go through the stories themselves, and you've also given them like a quick conversation starter that they can talk about and start on what the days are, what is going on the day. I have used this in a production basis at some point, and I think it's a really cool thing. Yeah, talked a lot. Yes, that's all I had to share. I'm going to share all this as a GitHub link plus the the slides. The slides are not really informative because they don't have the code. The GitHub link is probably what is gonna help you most. Thank you, Faith, Mo, Lorna, and everyone else on this call who has listened to me.
Thank you so much for giving us your knowledge. And I feel like the people who we are here, we've learned a lot. And yeah, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. And thank you for your patience with the power and everything else.
And if anyone has a question, please ask.
I think most of the questions were asked
Yeah.
during the yeah.
Yeah, I just want to highlight that. Thank you so much for presenting this. I'm not a Python developer. I don't use Python on a day-to-day, but I understood your explanation. So thank you so much. And over to you, Faith, to take over.
Hi again. Thank you, Daisy, for that amazing presentation. And anybody who has a question, feel free to drop it on the chat box, and it can be answered as we finish the second session. So at this juncture, I'd like to welcome George. Hi, George. Are you ready? Hello.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hi. Oh, okay. Could you please, how do you pronounce your first name? I did not want to get it wrong, so I had to use the second name.
Alvin.
Oh, Alvin. Ah,
Yes.
amazing. Okay, thank you. And I see Daisy has shared her LinkedIn profile link. So please, let's go follow each other and connect whenever. Thank you. Welcome, George.
Thank you so much, Faith. Good evening, everyone. That was a very, very lovely session from Daisy. I've been following through, and it was amazing. And I hope you will be amazed by my session as well, because I have a lot in stock. I have a lot in stock. My name is Alvin George. For those who don't know me, I am a software developer. I build mobile applications, and recently building web applications and all the gist around software engineering. So basically, I'm just a software engineer. I also lead a community which is partnering with Tambua Women in Tech. I lead Plata Kisumu, and together we are working towards making a community a better place. If you haven't seen my first, okay, let me just turn on my video for like 3 seconds, then I'll turn it off. But basically, this is me. I'm going to turn it off in 3 seconds because of anonymity issues. So yeah.
Before you start presenting,
yes.
Can you tell us a fun fact about yourself?
A fun fact about myself.
Yes.
I am I'm very curious, because I think there's a fact about me. I'm very curious in the sense that something, when I want to learn about something or when I want to get to know about something or someone, I don't get to, I cannot trust you until I get details about it. So I can do whatever, if it's researching, if it's stalking. I'm not a stalker though, but yeah, I'm very, very curious. My mind won't rest until I accomplish something.
Can you share the curiosity with all of us? We need to learn more in this tech world.
Ah. Okay. I think by the end of this session you will learn something, because this my session actually is a combination of a lot of curiosity actually. Yeah. My curiosity makes me creative actually. So that's my secret weapon.
Thank you. Thank you. Please share whatever knowledge you have with us and
Mhm.
we want to learn and learn. Yes. That's all. That's all.
Okay. So spoiler alert. Okay, this is Build with AI session. It's this is Build with AI session. So spoiler alert. I don't like. Okay, I am lazy. I'm just gonna admit that I am very, very lazy. So I didn't get the time to build my own slides. I generate my slides with AI. So don't judge me, please. Hmm. So if you see them, they're like, huh. Yeah, this is my first screen. 100% generated by AI, by the way. I need to emphasize on that part. It's using AI to automate everyday tasks and then lessons from real projects. Basically, in this session, I'm going to talk about two projects that I built. One of them I built with I built from scratch, but it's an application that uses AI as its core engine. And the next session is the next application is an application that I built with AI 100% because because I could. Uh, this session mostly, unlike this session mostly doesn't talk about the technical part of it. I'm just going to give you all the steps, 1, 2, 3 ways of generating that idea and using that curiosity to build something. As you can see, my tagline up with you: for dreamers, builders, and curious minds. Like, yeah, because it's curiosity that builds up that drive to build something eventually, and it's very, very possible. So I'm a software developer, and Olvin George is my name. So number one, what is the one thing that makes us curious, or like when we start to build, like when you want to build something? For instance, right now we have AI and we can do a lot of things really, really quick. We have a lot of things at our disposal, and as much as we see like, we can do this thing faster, but in the long run you get overwhelmed. You don't know where to start from, where to choose, like which approach to take, where to go, which road to take. Like then eventually you either end up building something that isn't quite what you envisioned. You see, have you ever been in this situation whereby you want to build like you have this very, very big vision in your head. I want to build the next SpaceX. I want to build the next Instagram. And so you mark things down and you're like, let me clench my fists and let me start coding. And then along the way you're just like your mind is frozen again. You don't know where to go, you don't know which approach to take. Then you're like, let me move on to the next. I can't kill myself, life is too short. So today we're going to try to tackle that problem, because that problem is we do not like, kind of from my experience, is let's say if you don't know how to put up a proper strategy. And I believe that is the core requirement of coming up with that product, coming up with a project. Like you must set up your requirements very, very well, set up your plan, sketch everything how it looks like before you actually start building it. And right now we have a lot of tools that can help us with that. Personally, I use a combination of various AI tools. I use ChatGPT for ranting and arguing, because yeah, it just annoys me every time. I use Gemini for tone. Like if I want something like to a conversation with someone like without bias. ChatGPT is usually biased, my opinion. Don't know about you. Then recently I use the Kimi to break down my complex stuffs and do my math for me. So I don't know if you all are familiar with the tools that I've mentioned. Kimi, ChatGPT, I'm sure you know it. Kimi, I don't know if you have used it. I also use some bit of DeepSeek, but that's besides the point. So when ChatGPT doesn't give me what I need, I go to Gemini, then I go to the other one. Then in the long run, I have to get that core requirement, like that solid plan of knowing what I want to build next. So from then is then where I will know if I'm going to either hard code this or I'm going to vibe code this. By the way, another fun fact about me, or because I'm one of those developers who have been coding for the longest time, like from 2018. And when AI came, vibe coding came, I was one of those skeptic people looking at vibe coding as this. It felt like a sin to vibe code, honestly. It felt like you are sinning, you are dragging in some way. And so, but it took some time for me to get the good side of AI, these tools, and I'm going to show you in a few. So my number one story is about MoviePlug. So MoviePlug is an application that I built that helps you find movies, watch movies, and it's powered by Flutter, of course. And I use also behind the scenes, I use Gemini. So what MoviePlug does is if you want to look for a movie, you just type your mood, what do you want to watch, and then it generates for you a list of movies. And then you can watch trailers, see the reviews, see the recommended movies, similar movies, and also you can chat with it regarding a particular movie and know if this movie is worth watching. So the mind behind that, I wanted to build something that could feel like a partner, like a friend. You're talking to a friend about this particular movie, and then you want to know, is this really my taste? Will I really want to spend this time watching this movie? So yeah, that is MoviePlug. It's on Play Store, by the way. Yeah, MoviePlug is on Play Store. We have about 1,000 downloads so far. Actually, the number is 1,600 downloads, and I deployed it last year, September. Yeah, if we were in a live audience, I would have asked you all to clap for me. Yes, it was a lot of hard work building this, but MoviePlug didn't just come up like the final product just like that. Because initially, the first core thing was it was on a weekend. I was very bored. I wanted to watch a movie. I wanted to find a movie that will uplift my mood. So I was here, Instagram, TikTok, like just more looking for movie recommendations, YouTube, name it. I couldn't like find what I actually needed. So one time I was chatting with ChatGPT. We were arguing like we always do, and I wanted it to give me the movie that I actually wanted. So it suggested to me some movies, and I watched them, and I liked it, and I was like, this is something. But you do not give me trailers, you do not give me more information about this in detail, and you hallucinate a lot also, because eventually when I asked it a lot of questions, it ended up giving me things that I was like, nah. So it was out of my control actually. So that is when I realized that, oh wait, I'm a developer, I can build this thing on my own. So I put down the pen, put down my drawing sheets, I flinched, folded my fists and got to work. I logged in, I started building this application. So I rolled out the first version. It wasn't great. It never had that perfect UI. It was just about the concept. List movies, integrate engine onto it, and then give me suggestions for movies. So that worked. Then we did I did the iteration phase after some like 2 weeks, another week, then the first month, then I get some user feedback. Yeah. Then over and over and over and over, movie plug now became slowly from thing that lived in the corner of my mind to actually graduating, transitioning to an actual product. And then when I put it on Play Store, shared it to my friends, they loved it, got their feedback, then improved on it more and more and more. So if you want to check out Movie Plug, it's on Play Store. You can download. Let me just share the link in the chat for y'all to easily find it. I see a question that if it has paid features. As for now, no. As I said, I'm very lazy, so I've been lazy to improve on it and add features, but it's on the way. It's on the way. It's coming up. It's coming up. I am thinking of upgrading it, leveling it up, then including introducing the premium version of it. But you know what? There's a problem with this application. Let me just share with you guys. You see, when I deployed this app on Play Store, the first thing people asked me was, does this app stream movies? And I was like, it doesn't. But then they were like, oh, I thought it streams movies. So I don't know. So I'm still thinking of ways to take care of that category of people. Yeah. Basically, bottom line is my point of bringing up Movie Plug is that Movie Plug was a project that actually made me improved my thinking of how to work and build products and make them efficient. Now, okay, up to that point, I hope we are all together. I hope no one is lost. If you're curious, if you have a question so far, you can just shoot it, because I'm going to the next one, which is it's a big one. It's big. So everyone's good. Okay. Nice. So, oh yeah, Bar. I hope I pronounced it right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hi, Alvin. Thank you very much for this presentation. It's really great. I love the UI, the colors design of the app. Could you give some information about it? Did you design it by yourself or did you hire someone?
I actually did it by myself. I wanted something that would speak a calm composure to the user. One thing about me is that I am not a professional designer. I don't have the UX skills. I tried hiring a designer, then the rates were like, woof, or I couldn't handle it. So it was me with ChatGPT again, asking it, yo, do you think this color will blend well with this and this and this? So it took a lot of refinements, until eventually I landed on something that actually made sense.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other question? Okay. Now, if there's none, does it redirect you to sites that have the movies? Not really. Hey, well, pirated sites. You want me to land in prison? Hey, yo, that's okay. Play Store doesn't allow you to have pirated content stored. Like the moment it detects that you have pirated content, that is when the FBI comes on your door knocking. Yo, you better come with us to answer some questions. Yeah. So yeah, I know a way of including the pirated content in the application, but no, it's not allowed. unfortunately. Okay, so the next project is something that I had the idea from way back in 2022, 2021 actually. Yeah, 2021, 2022 when I was still in campus. So the birth of this idea was first of all, I'm not the social frenzy person. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't know how to talk to a lot of people. So I wanted someone who would be my companion in terms of studying, not the other way around. Well, also the other way around also, but that's beside the point. I wanted somebody who could help me understand the things that we're studying at school. So like the kind of the study buddy, study partner thing. So the teacher teaches you something, then you go home, you're like, you want to read more on it, or you have your past papers, you're revising it, then because these are always repeated questions. So you want to actually understand this concept more and more. Unfortunately, I never had one. Even after graduation, I never had the study partner. Unfortunately, until now. Oh wait, not now. Now I built the thing. So that is what pushed me to actually step down and building this. Another fun fact: the application that I'm about to showcase to you guys, it's not a flat application, which is the beautiful thing about it, because I can share it with you guys and you can test it on your end. I need some claps because it's coming in. Okay, I built this app yesterday. We started on it, yes, not yesterday, the other day. I built it with Next.js, and behind the scenes, I used OpenAI, and also I built with TypeScript. TypeScript is part of Next.js, and Tailwind, Tailwind, Next.js, and OpenAI in the backend. Only that I wasn't the coder. I did not. The person in the coding section was Cloud Opus, to be specific, with the help of GitHub Copilot. So what the application does here, it is, I'm gonna just share the link in the group, in the chat. Sorry. So you can open it, test it also on your end as I keep talking about it. So Procast Buddy, now this is an application that helps you plan, track, and be efficient in the thing that you're doing. So it was an inspiration of my, the planning part was from my laziness. I'm very lazy and I do not know how to structure my week very well. That is something my boss always complains about. You need to structure yourself very well. And I was like, okay, it's not because I don't know how to structure myself, but it's because I don't know how to actually break down these tasks into actionable items. For instance, we always learning new things every day. You come up on you like every day is a learning day, right? And you need to be up to par with what's happening, whatever is happening. So, and it might be a hard time for you to actually build these goals into actionable items. That was a very, very big challenge for me. For instance, I want to learn how to play the guitar, but I don't know where to start from. I don't know how to actually, which steps to take, which classes to take, which tutorials to take, and eventually be a guru and join a band. So that is where Procast Buddy came in plus. First of all, it breaks down your goals into actionable plans, and then you can also study from it. So basically, this is how it looks like. or again, I did not build. Okay, let me not discredit myself. I wrote some code here, not just 100%, and I could show you the code. Whether the code is on GitHub also, but I don't know. I'm give it a window. Like it's only going to be public for 3 days or 4 days. Then I lock it and I make it private. The reason is because I want to transform it into a product, actual product that will give me some money. Even when I'm sleeping, money just comes into my pocket because that's the life we all dream of. Yeah. So before that, if you want to access the code, I will also share the code that powers the application. So enough yapping. Let me get straight to the demo. So the first thing that you do, you come here. Oh, this is just a tour which shows you what you can do with the application. So once you're done, you can just close it by clicking there. So let's say you want to learn to play the guitar. I hope the demo goes will be with me this time because they always fail during presentations. I don't know why. I want to learning how to play guitar. So when does this need to be done? I need to be a pro by 10 because I have a gig in 11th, and I need to perform like a pro, even if I don't have any skills in playing the guitar. So when you click on the button, let's go, it then maps out a plan for you. It gives you the actionable tasks that you will do. So number 1, get familiar with your guitar parts and tuning, learn basic finger exercises and open chords, practice chord transitions, learn how to play the guitar tablature, so all that. And the one thing that I kept in mind a lot is is for the tasks that are being completed. So when you're done, you just click here and it updates. In case you don't know how to do something, like maybe like say this task, learn to read basic guitar tablature, you don't understand what that is, or maybe you don't know how to break this call, it actually helps you break it down finer. When you click on that particular button over there, it then breaks it down for you, that call, into steps that you can take to accomplish it. So we have this understand, learn, practice, familiarize, tip, and whatever. So, and down here we have Sam, Alex, and Jordan, which are 3 individuals who have different responsibilities, whereby Sam keeps you hyped, Alex keeps you calm when you are panicking, then Jordan keeps the time up, like tells you that it's almost past your deadline and you haven't completed this, so you gotta do something. So if you're stuck, you can also click on the I'm stuck button, then it'll give you just a tip, something to keep you, motivate you to keep going, then not to give up. So yeah, that's how what the plan and track section works. On the study buddy section, you can now, oh my days, on the study buddy section, you can now explain the goal back in simple terms, then it gives you the goal. So we have this revision notes over here. So like notes, it summarizes your chat history with Procast Buddy, and then gives you a summarized notes for you to maybe read on your own at your own free time. And these notes can be exported to PDF as well. So like when you want to reference it later on, maybe you don't have power, you want to revisit some things you are chatting it with, you can easily go to the notes, and you can just download the notes. And after printing it, you can go back and read about it. So yeah, Then we have the quiz me section, which if you don't understand a particular goal, you can ask it questions, or maybe you have learned it and you want to challenge your skills. You can ask for it to quiz you. Follow-up questions, they just help you to flow with the mood. Maybe you're stuck with you don't have the questions to ask. You want to get the idea of questions you can ask. When you click on the follow-up questions section, it now gives you the questions that you will proceed with asking. And yeah, basically that's how it works. And that is how this is Procast Buddy works in a nutshell. I talked about the vision, I talked about the goal, and I talked about the why. Those are the three major things that can steer your vision towards when building a product or building something. These days we have a lot of tools at our disposal. We have web coding tools, we have Lovable, we have all those. But if you actually don't know what you are targeting to build, you won't really come up with the product that you have in mind. But if you have a clear sketch in what you want to achieve, then that goal will drive you to having something eventually in the end. And yeah, I think that is my quick takeaway, because it's up to you to take the first step. Everyone can have these like problems are everywhere, but it's up to you to take these problems, transform them into something that you can actually build to solve them. And you can just take the first step today, tomorrow, or anytime. And together, we can make the world a greater place. And any questions at this point? Does anyone have a question, comment, feedback?
I have personally enjoyed and I've learned a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey. Okay. Maureen is curious about my code base.
Yes, I'm interested to know what you said you used TypeScript, but
Yes.
how does your workflow really look like? Is it purely TypeScript, or like what did you generally do to achieve the final outlook of the second app that you showcased?
All right. So, okay, basically this is the code. It is purely TypeScript, because it's powered by Next.js, and Next.js uses purely TypeScript. There is no specific architecture that I built. It was bare bones, so I didn't follow the patterns that will be structured and reformatted later on when I actually lock it as a product. Does it make sense? Does it answer your question, Maureen?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, good.
As I said, this code will be available for only 1 week. After that week, I will lock it and be serious with it, actually, because at the moment, it was just a proof of concept that you can actually do something with it. Any other question? Requests to be a co-founder? Who wants to be my co-founder? No one. Oh, okay. Okay, so if there is none, that is all. Oh, wait. Are there any challenges for AI built production? Yes. Challenges are always there. And then the key challenge is security. Like just ensuring that your app is secure, ensuring that you don't have exposed API keys, you don't have your exposed user key values in your database. Like you don't have, because if you don't cross, one thing that AI is very good at is giving us generating code. But if you don't at times review the code that is being generated to you, at times you can just push things and expose problems eventually. So yeah, I think that that is a prime challenge I'm seeing with AI production apps for the future. If no one else has a question, that is all from my end. And thank you all for listening to me.
Thanks a lot for presenting. I'll definitely check out your movie plug app and also the new one that you just showed us. And yeah, I would hand it over to Faith to tell us what next.
Hi, Georgia. Thank you for that amazing presentation. And to the rest of us, that is a wrap for week 3 of the Build with AI learning series. And clearly, we've officially moved from understanding AI and prompting it to actually making it work for us behind the scenes. A huge thank you to Tambua Women in Tech and a huge thank you to the Latin community and our incredible community DBG to see for making this space so collaborative and energetic. Don't forget to share your wins, your automated pipelines or screenshots on LinkedIn and X using the hashtag Tambua Learning Series. Get some rest, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you right back next Saturday. And for tomorrow, for next week's session, we'll be discussing diving more into agentic development. So we'll see you then. Back to you, Maureen.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, and thanks all to our speakers for amazing presentations. I'm really pumped to check your applications out, especially the Daisy Python code. I'm curious to check it out. And also to you, Alvin, I'm also curious to check your latest app and also the movie plug app. And to the rest of you, thank you so much for sparing your Saturday. You could be somewhere, like we said the other time, we could be somewhere drinking or just having fun, but you chose to spare 2 hours of your time to learn with us. So it's not going to be in vain. So thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend and have as much rest as you can. Thank you.